And we welcome you to our 2020 Region 9 Football Media Day here at the campus of Dixie State University CEC TV studios. Welcome in our audience on the World Wide Web, sportsradio977.com, as well as on the airwaves at 97.7 FM and also 1210 AM and on CEC TV. And we are glad to be here. This day has finally come. We're excited to be playing some football. Games start this Friday night, and we've got a loaded show for you today. Loaded show. We're going to hear from every single coach and two players from every team. And I'm Devin Dixon. I've got Andy Griffin and Andy Thompson with me hanging out. We'll be asking the coach and players questions. And let's get right to it. And the Dixie Flyers are joining us now on set. And we've got Coach Blaine Munkers and Alex Maycock and Hunter Knighton representing the Fly Boys. And Coach, as we always do, we turn it over to you to give us kind of an update on a crazy summer and an overall preview of the Flyers this season.
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy. I mean, we had to shut down in March, and everybody was out of the weight room and out of the school. And luckily, we were running the first districts that were able to start up again. So we got started towards the end of May, 1st of June. So kids been working hard in the weight room, looking forward to, hopefully having a season and having a long season. And kids I think are ready to go. Been working hard.
You guys, what's the temperature of the kids? I mean, are they frustrated, angry, excited, mad, what?
Well, I'm sure they're excited. I mean, I think a lot of kids are excited to go back to school. They found out it wasn't that much fun being at home, but with nothing to do, and especially these two, because I think they like school and like being around their friends and like athletics and stuff like that. So I think they're excited to get back. I know the kids are excited. Practice was a little more upbeat this morning, having a game this week, so I think they're ready to go.
How confident is everybody, Coach, on the situation right now? We're playing. How confident is everybody, or what's the kind of vibe, I guess, with the players and coaches as far as finishing the season and getting through everything?
Well, I don't think if you took a poll, there'd be a lot of coaches that think we're going to finish. I mean, we're doing everything we can. I know at Dixie, I don't know what everybody else is doing, but we're wearing masks during meetings, and we're trying to social distance as much as we can on the field. We're practicing in 3 different groups so that we don't have 100 kids on the field at the same time. So we're trying to do our part and do all we can. And, I've told the kids that, if you want to have a season, you're going to have to wear masks. You're going to have to stay away from kids. You're going to have to stay away from your parties. And, if football is important to you, then they'll do the things we ask if you want to try to have a season. And hopefully everybody else is doing the same thing.
You guys had a wonderful season last year, averaging 40-plus points a game, but you lost everybody on the offensive side of the ball for the most part.
Right.
How's that developing, bringing in some underclassmen now, and give us a little bit of look at what the offense will be like, because we know that spread offense has been high-powered under your coaching over the years.
Well, we have George Lamb back at center, so that's a big plus. I mean, he's been starting there for a couple of years, so that's huge, and he can get us in the right protections as long as we can find kids who can understand the terminology and stuff. So it's going to be tough early. I mean, like I say, we got guys that haven't seen hardly any varsity action, 10 other starters out there on offense. So we're going to rely heavily on the defense at the first of the year, and hopefully game by game the offense gets a little better and understands what we're doing. We're fortunate to have Bronson Barban at quarterback, who he's very good. He's gone to a lot of camps and works very hard at being a quarterback, and looking forward to, he's probably looking forward to having a great season.
Tell us a little bit more about his attributes. Big arm, pretty mobile. Reggie Graff was sensational, dual threat guy. How different is Bronson than Reggie?
Bronson's different than what I've had. He's probably got a stronger arm than anybody I've had. I mean, he can wing it around the yard pretty good. He understands defenses. He's fast enough that if you don't watch him, that he's gonna, he'll go 10, 20, 25. He's not gonna go the distance like Reggie or a Blake Barney or Mike Sharp, but he's fast enough that you're gonna have to be aware of him and have somebody take care of him, or he's gonna, scramble around and hurt you.
Almost as important, Dixie, as quarterback is running back. I know we've got a kid sitting here probably going to play a little bit of running back. Tell us where you're at with running back, Coach.
Alex going to get the nod at start at running back, and he got a few carries last year, and he's doing a great job for us, and I'm sure he's going to fill in and just keep us rolling at that position. And he's a hard runner. He does a great job catching screen passes, and he's good up the middle. He's fast enough to get outside, so he's kind of that versatile guy we're looking at to play running back.
I'm curious about the 7-on-7, Coach. I know that was probably limited over the summer, but what was that experience like for the Flyers?
We didn't go to any 7-on-7s this year. I was kind of worried about getting out of town and getting some kids
Yeah.
sick. So I think there was only 2 of them. I know they had one at West Jordan. I know they had one at Wasatch that we were going to go to, but I think they started out with like 30 teams at Wasatch, ended up with like 12 or 10 or something like that. So we kind of avoided that kind of stuff, had our own camp here and did a few 7-on-7s with some teams in town. So it was a different year all around. So hopefully we got enough work that we can be successful on Fridays.
Do you feel like you're at the similar point with the game starting this Friday, or do you feel like because of the summer and everything that's taking place, you're a little bit behind? Is that fair to assess?
I thought we were, but we're going to be. But as I taught the coaches last week, they kind of consensus was we may be a little bit ahead. Before, we gave them a little less time off this summer than we have them before. We've always taken Fridays off every summer before, and this week we went every Friday to try to make up for lost time in the spring. And I really liked it, and I think we're caught up and about to the point where we usually are at this time of year.
We want to get to the players in just a second, but final question. Give us a glimpse of the defense. You have not very many starters on the offense, but you got a lot of guys back on that side of the football.
Yeah, we have 10 guys that saw a lot of action last year, 9 that started most of the time. So should be our strength early, and those guys have been working real hard. And we're trying to tell them, last year's last year and this year's this year. You got to go out and prove yourself every week. So I'm sure Coach Barry's harping on them and making sure they work hard, and that's where all our experience is. So early, we're going to have to rely on them.
Let's talk to these guys a little bit. Alex Maycock, Hunter Knight, and guys, welcome. Appreciate you coming by. Let's start with Hunter. It seems like you've been at Dixie forever, playing varsity sports. It feels like. Yeah. How's your experience been here? And is this year just as bizarre as you can imagine?
Not that bad. I feel like get to know all the guys and everything.
Okay.
Alex, I remember, I think last year against Hurricane, you went off. You had over 100 yards and maybe a 50-something yard touchdown and stuff like that. How excited are you this year to have more opportunities to do stuff like that, get more carries, and kind of be the featured guy?
I'm ecstatic. It's going to be a crazy year for sure. Once we get everything we need to get figured out on the offensive side, once we get rolling, it'll be just like last year.
Awesome.
Alex, how is Bronson's command of the huddle so far in fall camp?
Kid's a stud. Always been. I've played with Bronson since I was like 3rd grade, and always just a leader. Just always been that guy.
As running back, more than any other position, I think you're required to do so many different things. You've got to block on some plays, you've got to catch a ball on some plays, you're running the ball, you're making reads. Has it been hard to wrap your mind around all that, or has it been natural to you?
It's kind of just, you just pick up on it as you go, just like in the moment. Sometimes a hole's not there, but another hole will be, and it's just on the fly.
Are you a good blocker?
Oh, yeah. I used to play guard, so.
Okay.
Hunter, let's talk about the receivers a little bit. Breaking in a lot. I think Bo McGivern got a little bit of time last year, but guys like Easton Ellett, Shea Anderson, Josh Steffen, I know there's a bunch of newcomers at wide receiver. You're guarding those guys as a safety. Tell us how they're looking so far, getting ready for that first game against Springville on Friday night.
They'll be pretty shifty. All of them are pretty quick. If we get open, we'll just take it to the house every time. Nobody will be able to catch us, hopefully.
Coach, is your new quarterback, is he the kind of guy that's going to be able to go through his reads really well? I know that's really a key for your offense. You've got to, okay, that guy's not open, that guy's not open, okay, that guy's open. Is he good at that yet?
Yeah, Bronson's really good at that. I mean, he's kind of ahead of his age, being just a junior. But you can Friday nights. Sometimes that all goes out the window. So
that's true.
Right now he's looking really good in practice, but at the same time, he's not 11 other guys, chasing him around the field. But I got all the confidence that he's going to be fine. He understands the offense. He understands the reads. Last year he was the signaling in, so he knows all the signals. He knows the whole offense really well. The only thing is now he hasn't experienced yet is going out on Friday night and experience that under the gun. Pressure's on you now. You're not going in with a 30-point lead. You're going in to get us a 30-point lead and do the things that we have to do to win the game. So, when he goes out and gets that experience in the game and can handle that situation, then he's going to be as good a quarterback as there is in the region.
Got 2 more minutes. Dixie Flyers, first up here, 2020 Region 9 Football Media Day. Coach, give us a little thought or two on Springville. This has been a wild opening game over the years. A lot of 1 point. Last year, missed PAT, would have went to overtime. And then you got Roy. Talk about your 2 non-conference games coming up.
Yeah, Springville's been a good game for us. I mean, they're always solid. I like playing them. Their kids are hard players, and I like their coaching staff a lot. And they're going to get after you. 2 years ago, at our place, we're up like 2 touchdowns with 1:50 to go, and they get an onside. They score, get an onside kick, and score again with their big receiver. So we just went over that today. Actually, that they beat us on special teams the last 2 years, but they're solid, and hopefully, we're looking forward to another good game. I know he's got some players that he thinks can play the game, and they have all their DBs back. So I'm sure they're going to be a good test for us. Roy, again, you got a 6A school who's, Coach Fernandez and I have been friends for a long time, and they're always well coached, and I think we surprised them last year a little bit, we got 21 points in like 2 minutes or something like that. So they're both going to be good tests. I know Roy's kind of changed his offense a little bit, so, they're both going to be good games for us.
It could be fun. This Friday night, Springville, then Roy, and then Herrick at September 4th, season opener of Region 9 for the Dixie Flyers. Coach Munkers, Alex Maycock, Hunter Knighton. Guys, have a safe season. Best of luck to you and the Flyers. Coach, as always, thank you so much.
Yep, thanks for having us on.
We'll take a 3-minute timeout. When we come back, Cedar Redmond will join us next. Just getting going on our Region 9 Football Media Day.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
For over a century, Dixie State University has been shaping the trailblazers of tomorrow by providing a culture of active learning, active life. With a paradigm of real-world experience mixed with cutting-edge technologies and rich traditions, we provide one of the most affordable educations in the West, set against the most stunning backdrop on the planet.
Where do you find the titans of classical music in St. George? Classical music on Radio St. George, 100.3 FM. Where do you find the legends of jazz? Evenings on Radio St. George, 100.3 FM.
I take the road less traveled, run free, unwind, unravel someplace outside with lots to do. Green trees, red rocks, and don't forget that blue sky. The sunshine shining, sunshine pouring on me. Think I might just stay a while. Say hooray all day because the sun is gonna shine on me. Sun is gonna shine on me. So if you're looking for me, then you better look down where there's tall palm trees and shopping sprees. Sip my tires and don't forget that blue sky. The sunshine shining, sunshine pouring on me. Think I might just stay a while. Say hooray all day because the sun is gonna shine on me. Sun is gonna shine on me. Sun's gonna shine on me.
Hey, we're excited to be back here, CEC TV Studios, campus at Dixie State University. Devin Dixon, Andy Griffin, Andy Thompson, and the ESPN 97.7 team, and we're excited for the games to begin. But first, breaking it all down, getting you excited for this Friday night and the Cedar Redmen. We're going to talk with Coach Bennett and two players representing the Redmen here today.
Hold on. You've done it twice now. Redmond, come on, Devin. We just talked
Reds.
about this.
Reds. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Andy. But
I had to stop you.
I shouldn't even have said it in the break because I put that in my head. You're absolutely right. The Reds players representing Cedar City High School. We got Mr. Nilsson and Mr. Garrett. But Coach, as we like to do, let's start with you and tell us about a wild, crazy, unforeseen offseason and give us an overall preview for your team this year.
Yeah, it's been unexpected. I mean, we've just been trying to do what we can, with all the protocols and restrictions in place, but I feel like our kids and coaches have handled it well. I mean, it is what it is, and, our kids understand that, and I think we've had good buy-in. They've worked hard in the weight room. We've been able to go to a few 7-on-7s. We had our own camp this year, and I felt like our camp, maybe one of the better camps that we've had in a while, but we've got a lot of experience returning. And that makes a big difference. So,
I have a talk show, Coach. We talk about how this is unprecedented. This has never happened before, what we're going through right now in life. And then I try to get people to predict what's going to happen. And I'll get you to try to do that too. But it is unprecedented. We've never been here before. It's kind of strange, isn't it, where we're at?
Yeah, I mean, we're cautiously optimistic that it's going to be a full season. I mean, you just don't know. I mean, with how things have changed so much week to week, month by month, I think we're headed in a positive direction, though. I think it's starting to look good, I'm hoping, and so we're cautiously optimistic that, we're going to get through this season and stuff, so.
As a follow-up, how do the players feel? Have you been able to gauge how they're feeling about things? Are they confident? Are they angry?
Oh, yeah, players are, they're resilient, so they don't worry about it. I don't think they really don't talk about it much and stuff like that, and so we've just been doing what we can and, really haven't had a lot of pushback from players. I think they want to play.
They probably have found out you can only play Xbox so long and you get sick of it, right, guys?
Yeah, they're ready to move on. They're ready to move on, so.
We asked Coach Monkers if he feels, compared to years past, behind at this point, ahead somehow with all of it that's been going on. How do you feel like the Reds are doing right now?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, and we'll find out Friday, I feel with the experience we have returning, though, I feel like we're further ahead than we've been. I mean, I think we returned 10 offensively and 9 and 10 defensively, and so having that experience return and already knowing the schemes and the things that we're doing offensively and defensively really helps. I mean, teams that don't have as much experience returning, I think it's a lot harder, but I felt like during camp this year, and that's one thing I said, man, we're further ahead than I thought we'd be, and so that experience helps. And so
I'm actually, Coach, surprised at you guys aren't getting more respect from like the Salt Lake media and stuff, considering how many guys you have returning. Yeah. Is that something you guys kind of stick in your back pocket and think about? That
yeah, I mean, we don't pay too much attention to it just because I think the preseason, a lot of the preseason stuff really goes off how teams finished the year before. Right. I think our kids, obviously that's something we'll bring up each game, and so we try to use that as motivation. And I think our kids will buy into that. But we still got a lot to prove, and I think, we really haven't done anything this year, and so we've got to go out and prove it. And I think once we go out and prove it, I think that respect will come with that. So
offensively, you guys scored over 30 points a game last year. How do you build on that this year with some more mature, experienced players coming back?
Yeah, just challenge our kids and say, look, we've got to get better. I mean, we put a big emphasis, more of an emphasis, I don't know, Jaron's not going to like this, but a little bit more of an emphasis on running the ball. We didn't run it. I don't think we ran the ball real well last year, and we feel like if we can run the ball better this year, it's going to open up our passing game. And so just challenging the kids to get better on that side of the ball.
Coach, I remember, a handful of years ago, your first year, it was like Coach Bennett's going to bring the spread or throwing the ball to Cedar City. Yeah. And now last year, Jaron throws for over 3,100 yards, 66% or something completion percentage. Like, maybe tell us about the evolution from where you started to now as far as the offense just kind of being totally
different. I mean, it's a process. I remember when we first brought that in, that first year or two, people thought it was crazy. I mean, they ran the triple option for almost 25, 30 years, and so it was an adjustment. And I think the the culture's changed a little bit and the kids have bought in. I mean, having good buy-in from the kids and learning the concepts and things like that has been good. I think it takes about 5, 6, 7 years to get there, and I think we're getting there. You know, this is our 5th, 6th year doing this, and so I think we're getting, you know, where we want to be. Well,
It used to be a victory if you could make Cedar throw the ball. Now it's a victory, I guess, if you can make Cedar not throw it. Huh?
yeah, it's a lot different now. So definitely a little bit more exciting, I think. So.
Who's starting to really step up as some of the leaders in fall camp? Give me a couple guys offense, defensively that are really, you know, the team leaders of this year's team.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is what stands out about this team. And again, you know, we'll see on a Friday night, but is leadership. I think this is, you know, in the years I've been head coach, I think we've got more leadership now than we've had, you know, in the previous 5 years I've been here. Obviously, Jaron, you know, he was a captain last year as a junior. Trevor Nelson, a lot of people don't know about, you know, and he's maybe been one of our hardest working kids on the team, you know, and that hard work's going to pay off. He's definitely a kid that's going to stand out. Obviously, Trey Payne, we were talking a little bit about him before, you know, a returning all-state player at tight end and D-end, and, you know, he's had a good off season. There's a lot of kids. I mean, obviously I'm probably going to leave a few kids out, but we've got a very good senior class. They've always been a good group from when they were freshmen all the way on up, and so there's high expectations this year.
Let's bring in the players, and we'll get back to Coach for just a couple more questions. Talking with the Cedar Reds right now, and Mr. Garrett, how you feeling? How's the arm? You excited for Friday night, man? Spanish Fork, week of. It's finally arrived.
That's right. I'm excited. I'm hoping Coach doesn't follow up on that run game. Hopefully we just pass it every time.
You've probably got some read options where you can do a little running yourself, though, right?
That's the running he's actually talking about. just back into my hands into running.
Tell us a little bit about the guys up in front of you protecting you, man. I mean, it's kind of that bond between the quarterback and his offensive line.
Right. No, we all get along. We're good friends. We're all, you know, I think even just that friendship between all of us is huge. And they've all worked really hard this offseason. I've been able to see them in the weight room every single day, and I trust every single one of them. And so I think having them all coming back with me this year, just knowing every single one will be blocking for me and having that trust and experience from them is just huge, knowing that they're there in front of me.
Trevor, Coach said you may be a secret right now. Not a lot of people know about you, but you look strong. You look ready to go. What's kind of the offseason been like? I mean, 5, 6 plates on the rack and just getting after it, or what's been the secret sauce?
Just working hard. That's all we can ever do. It's just work as hard as we can, do what coaches tell you to, and just we have a lot of trust in each other, and that helps the whole team go around.
What's the mentality with all the talent over the years? You know how tough it is to win a region title and to win a state title. What's your thoughts this year, and how big of a home field advantage will be up there in Cedar City this year?
I think it will be a great home field advantage. The band, the pep band, we love playing at home. Everything is there, and I think the home field advantage will be great this year.
Trevor, I was an all-state lineman. I never got interviewed once by radio, TV, newspapers. So first of all, congratulations, you're being interviewed. But this newfound spotlight, is it something you like? Or?
I'm a little nervous about it, but yeah, I do like it.
Cool.
How's the off-season been, Jaron, as far as your connection with the receivers? Maybe tell us about some of the guys you like to throw to most.
So I got, Jack Cook and Colby White and Trey Payne at tight end, of course, and I threw to all of them last year. I've thrown to them through all of high school, and every day in spring when school got canceled, we would go out and throw on the field. And just the connection's grown, and it's gotten bigger, and just being with those guys every day and throwing with them for the past 4 years, and I trust every single one of them. You double team one of them, the other one's going to be open, and I just know that, and that they'll be there and be open, and I can hit any one of them at any time in the game.
Now, is Trey Payne, is he a lineman or is he a skill player? Because tight ends kind of go both ways. What do you say, Trevor?
It's hard to say.
Mindset. Is he a lineman? Does he have a lineman mindset?
I think he does have a lineman mindset. He's really tough. He likes to hit people, but when he needs to be, he could be a great skill player with all the great skills that he needs.
Got a great football name, Payne. Yeah.
That's right.
Talking with Cedar City, the Reds in the building, Jackson Garrett, Trevor Nilsson, and Coach Bennett. Coach, just curious, defensively, you got outscored a little bit more points per game than you even scored. So what's the emphasis for the defense been like getting ready for Spanish Fork on Friday?
We return, like I said, we return a lot of guys on that side of the ball, but we've challenged those guys. I mean, they're going to play with a chip on their shoulder. They know they gave up a lot of points last year, and we've brought that up a lot with them. We said, we got to get better defensively, and I think they've taken that challenge. Scheme-wise, we've changed a few things as far as our scheme goes on what we're going to do, and we're hoping that's going to help. and then just off-season work, which has been put in by a lot of those guys. So we've set goals too. Obviously, we've set goals every year, but our goals this year have changed a little bit, especially on the defensive side of the ball, and we've got to be better there, and that's a huge emphasis this year. So, but we'll be ready. So.
Are you going to try to platoon at all? I know it seemed like to me late in games, some of your guys that were going both ways started to fatigue a little bit. Is that something you're going to experiment with?
We try to do the best we can, just depending on the depth. Now, I feel like we have more depth this year where we can do that on both sides of the ball. Obviously, we want to try to get some of our better athletes that can play both ways, but the conditioning part of it has to change quite a bit. So, we try to do that in the weight room, and then obviously in our conditioning and practice and stuff. So,
we know how big the rivalry is between Canyon View and Cedar. Now, those guys are out there. They're on deck right now. When you guys watch, are you going to stare them down, Trevor, and not say anything? Or are you going to smile and shake their hands? How does that work?
I'll probably smile and shake their hands. We're just going to treat them like any other team. Right now, we're just focused on Spanish Fork, just taking every game one at a time.
Attaboy. You've been coached well before this media day.
We practiced for that question, so.
I don't think they're allowed to shake hands, though, Andy.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Right.
Just the elbow.
Jaron, is there a team you look forward to playing on the schedule? When you look at it, is there one team you're like, I can't wait to play that team?
Snow Canyon. I just feel like we've always kind of competed with them, and they've always just been the best, and so I just want to take them down this year.
Love it. Love it. Trevor, thanks for coming. Jaron, best of luck to you guys. Be safe, be well this season. Coach, always a pleasure.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
The Cedar Reds joining us here, and we'll take a timeout. When we come back, like Andy mentioned, Canyon View will join us in our continued coverage of our 2020 Football Media Day.
There is a place where rocks bleed and nature blushes on a battlefield green with envy, where dimples determine destiny and a tiny wooden tee holds the outcome in the balance. There is a place where friends are opponents and opponents are friends, where the prize is elusive, the conquest is captivating, and the score isn't settled till the drinks are down. There is a place.
Radio Dixie 91.3, Young the Giant, something to believe in.
John, what song do you want to hear? Next, Miss Calingras. It'll be on the SWAT team, the SWAT team. Did a fantastic situation. I should talk to you. I was going to talk to you last time.
Run free, unwind, unravel someplace outside with lots to do. Green trees, red rocks, and don't forget that blue sky. The sunshine shining, sunshine pouring on me. Think I might just stay a while. Say hooray all day because the sun is gonna shine on me. Sun, it's gonna shine on me. Sun's gonna shine on me.
Hey guys, how are you today?
Good.
I'm here to talk about how with technology you can make amazing worlds. Come with me. My team and I bring the Halo world to life.
Is that you?
That is me. I wasn't a math genius and I knew nothing about coding. But you guys do. You guys have the power to change things.
I want your job.
I want you to have my job.
I take the road less traveled. Run free, unwind, unravel someplace outside with lots to do. Green trees, red rocks, and don't forget that blue sky. The sunshine shining, sunshine pouring on me. Think I might just stay a while. Say hooray all day because the sun is gonna shine on me. Sun, it's gonna shine on me. Sun's gonna shine on me.
And we welcome you back here on 97.7 ESPN as well as on CEC TV to our 2020 Region 9 Football Media Day. Devin Dixon, Andy Griffin, Andy Thompson, and the Canyon View Falcons next up here. And Really excited to have them make the journey down from up in Cedar City. Coach, how are you? Thanks for coming.
Things are going great. Yeah, thanks for having us.
You got 2 team leaders with you. Tell me a little bit about the guys you brought today.
These 2 guys are seniors, and they kind of exemplify everything we're trying to put forward with our group. And these guys are just awesome leaders. They're great players as well as good young men.
All right, Kyson Parker, and we've also got, who's the third there? Cody Callison.
Yeah.
Collison, right?
Callison.
I can't see that far. I need to get my eyes checked. Coach, you know how this works. You've been here before. We just like to give it to you for 2-3 minutes and talk about a crazy offseason, talk about what you guys have been doing, and just give us an overall look and preview of, all 3 facets: offense, defense, special teams for Canyon View.
So I kind of sat here last year and thought we were going to have a pretty good season, and it didn't quite go that way. We have a much different feel from this group. They've put in the work. They know what it's like to work. I'm just really excited to get the season kicked off because our guys are our guys now, finally. This is year 3, and they know what we expect. They're good in the system. They worked on a lot of nuances rather than just where to line up or how to, what we do in here. So it's been really, really, really enjoyable. With the COVID thing, I almost think it kind of worked to our advantage a little bit because the kids didn't want to be home sitting on the couch anymore, and so they got out. They wanted to get out, and our numbers are high, and so is our attitude. Our attitudes are up in there. It's good.
Just think of all the hours they got put in though on the Xbox.
Oh, I'm sure that hopefully they were playing football.
Madden, yeah, something like that. But,
unfortunately, I don't know if they were playing Madden.
Talk a little bit about the culture at Canyon View. Obviously, they had some struggles over the years. You guys are trying to get up off the mat. How do you change the mindset there?
It's been a project. There's no question about it. I've been involved in a couple reclamation projects, and this has been the most difficult. To be honest with you, I think when our community believes that we can do it and they're telling their kids the right things at home, I think that we're going to, really soar. And I think that this group here has a group of people behind them. Their support group believes in them and are saying the right things for them. So, I don't necessarily want to blame all that on them, but it's been an interesting run. And every day we just try to build them up, make them feel special, and make sure that they understand that they can do this.
Well, the other problem too is you're showing improvement, but you've got a really tough region that you're playing in.
There's no question. It's some good football in this region.
I'm curious about the quarterback situation. There were a few guys that played last year. What's that look like going into the season, Coach?
So we ended up starting our freshman quarterback, Jake Garrett, at the end of the year last year, and he's kind of taken the reins this year. Nice. He's going to be very good. He's a really talented kid, and he's a year better than he was a year ago. That's a pretty big jump from 8th grade to varsity football. So, it's nice to see him kind of come into his own. And obviously, we got some stuff to get better at, but he's a much better, much more mature young quarterback for sure.
He can't even drive a car yet, right? And you're letting him drive your football team?
Yeah, well, he must be old for his age because he just got his license not too long ago. Yeah.
Talking with Canyon View here. Let's bring in the players for a few minutes here. And Kyson, let's start with you. Just how excited are you with everything going on to be practicing with your teammates and playing a game this Friday night?
Well, it's you almost take it for granted, but with the circumstances that we've been given this year, it's just one more reason to give it your all, and really enjoy every moment that you're out there and stuff. I think that all of our team, are great friends all together. I think the chemistry is going to be a huge part in us this year. I just think that we have our full trust in every player, and we expect everyone to give it their all every play.
Bring in Cody for a second. Cody, you heard Coach talking about Jake Garrett. Obviously, you got to have pretty good chemistry with him, right? Being one of the wide receivers. Favorite route? How is the chemistry for you guys as a receiver as a whole?
Personally, my favorite route with Jake is the fade, but we got 3 returning starters out there at wide receiver this year, and so we're pretty close too. So I think that'll be pretty good.
All right, Cody, pretend coach isn't here. Somebody told you, hey, you got a sophomore that's going to be your quarterback this year. What are you thinking?
I don't know. I don't mind it too much. He's pretty good for his age, so, I don't mind it, but yeah.
All right. All right, good answer.
As we alluded to before, it was a tough season last year, but what were some highlights? Let's start with you, Kyson, from last season, some positives that you took away that you're looking forward to getting back on the field this year about.
You know, in our games, you know, we have a tendency to start slow, but, you know, we always try and finish as hard as we can, you know. The Hurricane game is a highlight. You know, we really bonded together that win, and everyone, you know, you could just see the amount of trust and chemistry on the field that we had together. That was definitely a point in the season, you know, where your hopes were high for the future. Just we have a lot of, you know, returning starters and newcomers to watch. You know, it's really exciting to see that stuff develop, and, you know, it's just a great culture that we have going on here for right now and years to come.
Awesome.
Do you guys, Coach feels like he's an excitable guy. Is he bouncing around in practice, jumping in your face?
Yeah.
You and stuff?
Yeah, he's pretty high energy. He'll let you know what you're doing wrong, and he'll let for sure, let you know what you're doing right. So, but yeah, it's, I like it a lot better than just a little monotone coach,
Yeah.
It's really exciting, get you up.
You had or I'll start with Cody on this one, like your biggest collision in practice, it was like, oh, football season has started. I always remember the first time I got hit or hit somebody and got excited about football. Are you guys allowed to even hit anymore in practice? I know you guys probably aren't doing the Oklahoma drill probably a lot, but do you have a moment like that, Cody?
Well, the first day of practice in the summer, we were out lifting, and it was hot outside, and wasn't too hydrated that day, and had a few throw-ups that day, but I remember that. But
oh, right on.
That's when football was here.
How about you, Kai? Just about every play, there's a big hit when you're involved, right?
Yeah. I remember vividly a couple weeks ago, just pulling around on a power. I smacked my outside backer, and I was like, whoa. Took a step back, said, all right, we're not in summer anymore. We got to get ready for this season. So It's always exciting, though.
Awesome.
No social distancing there, huh?
Try not to.
No shaking hands at the end, but we can maul each other for 48 minutes, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Coach, let's bring back in Coach Sawyer for a second. Canyon View with us here. Got about 2 minutes left with the Falcons. Payson and Grand and Enterprise, you have 3 non-conference games this year. Is that big for you guys to have that extra one? Some teams only have 2.
It was interesting. We actually lost 2 games early. We were going to play Moapa at Moapa, and then we had a team from Vegas coming in, and with Nevada postponing until the spring, we had to fight to find a couple people. And we were blessed, really, last minute to pick Grand and Enterprise up. But Enterprise came to our camp, and so we kind of had a deal in place in case that didn't work out, because they were playing a Nevada team as well. Look, we're excited to have a full schedule. Like you said, blessed to be playing. We weren't able to get as many lower level games in those early weeks as we would have liked, but you know what? Really happy to have some varsity football games for sure.
Coach, and maybe the players, is there a date you've circled on the calendar? Is there a team that Cedar obviously has got to be a big one for you?
Just worried about, we're just trying to take it one week at a time. You always have those rivalries, that you develop over years of playing football together. But, this year especially, you can't get ahead of yourself. You got to take it 1 week at a time, and, we're focused on Friday night, so.
Awesome.
I like his answer.
Yeah.
We haven't won a lot of football games, and so he's right. We need to focus on getting wins when we can get them.
Well said.
Got about 60 seconds left. Just curious, Coach, what do you see getting ready for Pace, and what talk about that matchup Friday night, that first game?
So, I know they went independent, but they're still a big team. They got good size. They got a few good players. Their quarterback's a good football player. They're running some spread. They're changing some stuff. They have some new coaches running some spread, and then kind of a hybrid option thing. So they're giving us plenty to get ready for, and with very little film study and stuff like that, it's going to be interesting for sure.
Are you going to have everything ready to go, like the whole playbook, or this first week, are you going to kind of keep it a little bit more simple?
Well, I wouldn't say the whole playbook is in play this week for sure, but like I said, we have a lot of veterans on our team, and so we have a lot in because the kids have been in our system for a long time.
Good stuff. Coach Sawyers, Canyon View, and guys, best of luck this season. Have a healthy season, and thanks for representing your teammates today on our Media Day coverage.
All right,
No problem. Thank you.
Take another timeout. When we come back, we keep going. We've got Snow Canyon that's going to join us after this 3-minute commercial break.
When I was your age,
Thanks,
I
Phyllis.
was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows? Maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
I take the road less traveled, run free, unwind, unravel someplace outside with lots to do. Green trees, red rocks, and don't forget that blue sky. The sunshine shining, sunshine pouring on me. Think I might just stay a while. Say hooray all day because the sun is gonna shine on me. Sun is gonna shine on me. Sun's gonna shine on me.
Get our print curve here. And there's the bottom. Does this one have more water?
Time apart has taught us. In our social distance, we found space. Space to ponder. Space to connect. Space to imagine. Space to heal. In the emptiness, we found meaning. In silence, we found beauty. In separation, we've discovered there is so much more to find when we find our space. Find your space.
Our hearts are made stronger by how we treat others.
Put her there.
The light you share can impact those around you, but so can the darkness.
Later, twerps! Did Pete saying mean things bother you?
So when you reach out to another person, take a moment to consider how they will feel and let your heart be the key to making a difference. Because of you, someone's entire day, year, or even life can change.
In every heart, there's hope.
One in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother.
Yes.
You, your football buddy, your football buddy. You, your plumber,
Breathe right into your foot.
your plumber's masseuse.
Yes.
You, your dog walker, your cat jogger. With early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Welcome back, CEC TV Studios, 2020 Region 9 Football Media Day. Devin Dixon, Andy Griffin, Andy Thompson, the ESPN Sports team, hanging out with you and almost getting close to halfway done. Time flies when you're having fun, so let's get right to our next team, and that's the Snow Canyon Warriors. And a lot of people excited about their upcoming season. And Coach Esplin is joining us on set, and he's brought Ja'Cory McKeever and Braxton Hickman to represent the Warriors. And Coach, thanks for coming, and we'll turn it over to you to tell us a little bit about the offseason and a little preview of the team this year.
All right, thanks for having us. I first wanted to say, we have a lot of returning guys coming back and a lot of guys that could represent us at this media day. So we're talking as coaches, and obviously Landon Fry is going to get tons of media and he'll do a lot of talking for us. But we had to go. These two were all state last year, and that was okay. We'll go with that. That's who we'll bring. But we got a lot of leaders on our team, and that's nice in the off season. This off season has not been typical, and we've been very flexible. Luckily, kids are a heck of a lot more resilient than adults, and so I've never seen kids so excited to get to weightlifting and practice when we finally got the go ahead. And even though we're following different rules and we have to figure out different things, the excitement has been there, the passion has been there, and we feel thankful for the opportunity to get to play.
Just curious, do you feel like, you guys are right on pace to where you should be to open the season this Friday night?
I mean, your reps are huge, especially on both sides of the ball, but you've practiced less special teams, and that's always the first couple games. I mean, no one talks about it, but you got to be ready to go there, and we've had less reps because we had less time. We're probably not as far into the playbook in some areas, but with the kids that are coming back, they have that knowledge from previous years. So depending on what area of our offense that you're talking about, we can do some things further than we have in the past, even with the type of off season that we had that was limited. I think if you compare to other people, we're definitely on par or further ahead, just because we have more returning guys in those key positions. So all said and done, we feel good about where we're at.
Mike, when you played, there was quite a great tradition at Snow Canyon High School. And then when you got hired as a coach, you talked about getting back to that, getting back the feel of Snow Canyon, the Warrior feel, grab gold, things like that. How is that project going for you?
We don't talk about the past a ton. I have those memories in my mind, and I know what my coach just said and what our traditions are, and we still have quite a few of those traditions. Mm-hmm. We do touch gold when we leave the locker room. We do talk about things that I was taught, but we always tell the kids, this is your time. This is your team, and it isn't about the 90s, but the winning should be like it was in the 90s, and the culture should be like it was. And a winning culture is a winning culture in football, in business, wherever you're at. Right. And it takes time, man. I mean, you talk to coaches that come in and have to rebuild and get to a position where that culture is winning. And I feel really good about where we're at culture-wise. I feel like we're confident. Try and make sure we're not overly confident and that we have that respect that we need to have. Region 9's always so good. I mean, you can never say who's going to beat who on any given night, but we feel great where we're at.
Coach, I'm curious, for the last couple of years, it's kind of been in the preseason, Snow Canyon, they're so promising. They got so much talent. And now this year, it's like, now you're, instead of promising, you're kind of expected to be kind of the team this year. What's the difference kind of coaching a team that way? That mindset?
You know what? I love it. That's always my hope, is that you come into the season as the favorite and you kind of have a target. I think you get more out of the kids if that's the expectation from the outside. That's always the expectation on the inside. But I think there's some motivation that comes from having to live up to some respect that has been given. Polls, I don't take a whole bunch of stock in those, but when coaches vote, when Region 9 coaches vote, and they give us respect and they know how good their teams are, that does matter to me. That means that we've done some things that makes coaches that have done a lot of winning and a lot of, won the last however many region championships, that does mean something. But I keep telling them after practice, unless you give it merit by winning those big games, then it goes back to not meaning much.
Talking with the Snow Canyon Warriors, before we get to the players, Coach, I didn't get to go to your scrimmage, but I heard you guys were scoring almost every play. That's exciting for your offense, I think, right? Tell me a little bit about that scrimmage.
The thing is, offensively, is our offensive line is so powerful, and we have a returning starting quarterback, Landon Fry. We have a returning tailback in Bretton Stone that are very, very good. And then we have some receivers. We have some height. We have some speed. We have some little scat guys. We're going to have to bring some youth into that group. But being a defensive coordinator, it's always interesting to get to watch our offense and what Coach Nowatzki does. I think he's in a position where he feels kind of giddy, because if you don't put enough people in the box, I think we're going to be able to move the ball on every team we play, and then throwing the ball and completing it is easier. So the pass game is easier, and it's just tough because we have that balance. And if we need to, we can pound. And my mindset, that's how we did it. We won a lot of games just we'll tell you to play, and we'll be more physical than you, but we have some finesse. And then Coach Nowatzki is a very smart, schematically offensive coordinator. So, I mean, there's some fun things we can do there.
Let's bring in a guy that's kind of kamikaze type player on defense, Braxton Hickman, representing the Warriors. Braxton, man, you kind of burst on the scene, made a ton of plays last year.
Thank you.
How excited are you to follow that up this year with all the things you hear Coach say? You got a lot of talent on this roster.
Yeah, we do. Our defense is looking really good. We have a ton of returning starters, and I'm just ready to get out and play. We've been cooped up too long.
The rumor was you played a little bit hurt last year, but you weren't not going to play. All that healed up?
Yeah, so I had issues with my feet, both of my feet all year, and then I had broke my hand the year before, and I was still coming off of that. So, but I wasn't going to let it stop me.
I love that.
You guys got the sleeves up, got the guns out.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. The gun show going. It won't go down, okay. Ja'Cory, can you talk a little bit about what you feel like is expected of you as a lineman on both sides this year?
Just to help my team out, and that's really it.
If you miss a block, if you miss a tackle, I mean, what goes into your mind as an experienced guy? You've got to just kind of bounce back from that stuff, right?
Yeah. Just, shake it off. It hurt us, but I won't let it get in my head.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Sure.
This offensive line is really loaded. What's it like, being one of those guys, and what's it like trying to go against those guys in practice? Because, I mean, Isaac Lees is big, and Eric's is big. You got some studs.
Just competition, making each other better. That's really what it is.
I remember, Ja'Cory, the last time a lineman kind of preseason got this much pub, it was Penei Sewell, and now he's like the best lineman in the world, so no pressure on you this year, buddy. Braxton, I was going to ask you, you can play linebacker, you can play safety, you can play defensive line. Sometimes when you're out there, do you just get to do whatever the heck you want, or how disciplined is the approach there?
Pretty much, most of the time.
Just kind of roving around making plays. That sounds like a fun position.
But why is he wearing a quarterback number? That's what I want to know.
he plays
I play
running back,
too.
receiver. He could play option quarterback, but he's a utility knife for us, and I talked to him about kind of being like Lawrence Taylor back in the day. Like your job is to cause mayhem on defense. Just go make something happen.
I remember a kid a few years ago named Miles Reynolds, who was a linebacker but also guard. I know Braxton's bigger than he was, but he kind of played a fun position too. I remember a few years ago.
Yeah, he did.
And Braxton, I did games when your dad played. That's how old I am. But does he tell you how good he was? And do you feel like you're as good as Dad was?
A little bit. I think I'm a little bit better.
Okay. That's all right. I like that. I also covered games when your coach played.
We played together.
Yeah.
He was my quarterback, same class. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Got just 40 seconds left with the Snow Canyon Warriors. Final questions for the players or coach?
Well, football is an escape. We got the ills of COVID-19, and you got race riots and things all over the country. Do you feel like when you go between those lines that everything else is gone and it's just football, guys? Ja'Cory, what do you think?
I want to say yes, but stuff like races and stuff like that, I think about that when I'm, going against an opponent.
Sure.
And, makes me want to drive, give me that drive.
Yeah. Braxton?
I think that it brings our team closer, that we can all come together and talk about that stuff as a team and a brotherhood.
Snow Canyon Warriors, everybody. Well put, guys. Thanks for coming. Best of luck this season. Coach, as always, we'll see you out on the field Friday night. They get it going at Cypress and then Morgan, and then the first region game will be September 4th against Canyon View. We've got to take another timeout. When we come back, the Hurricane Tigers will join us as we continue our 2020 High School Football Region 9 Media Day.
I take the road less traveled, run free, unwind, unravel someplace outside with lots to do. Green trees, red rocks, and don't forget that blue sky. The sunshine shining, sunshine pouring on me. Think I might just stay a while. Say hooray all day because the sun is gonna shine on me. Sun is gonna shine on me. So if you're looking for me, then you better Say hooray all day because the sun is gonna shine on me, sun is gonna shine on me, sun's gonna shine on me.
Tell me not in mournful numbers, life is but an empty dream. For the soul is dead that slumbers, and things are not as they seem.
Art is long and time is fleeting, and our hearts, though stout and brave, still like muffled drums are beating, funeral marches to the grave. In the world's broad field of battle, in the bivouac of life, be not like dumb-driven cattle, be a hero in the strife.
Lives of great men all remind us that our lives can be sublime, and departing, leave behind us footprints on the sands of time. Footprints that perhaps another, sailing over life's solemn main, a forlorn and shipwrecked brother, seeing, shall take heart again. Let us then be up and doing, with a heart for any fate. Still achieving, still pursuing, learn to labor and to wait.
We scored? Yeah, we scored going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Hey, why does my face look like that? I'm playing with these new face filters. Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine. I'm gonna need that back. No. Kevin!
All right, Monroe, you ready? Monroe. Here we go, the butterfly. Ready? Ooh.
Hey everybody, good afternoon. Welcome back. Our 2020 Region 9 Football Media Day. We are just thrilled we're having this, and that means that here in the state of Utah, we're playing football this Friday night. So we're getting you a preview and outlook, and we've been through about half the teams, and now joining us, the Hurricane Tigers. I do want to remind everybody, if you missed any of your favorite teams, you can go back and watch it, CEC TV, their YouTube page, or you can go and watch it on demand on sportsradio977.com. I'm Devin Dixon, Andy Griffin, Andy Thompson hanging out with me here, and let's talk with Coach Miller, and he's got two players. All the teams bring in two players, two leaders of their team. Luke Wright, Isaiah Martinez representing the Tigers as well. But Coach, let's start with you and bring us up to speed and talk about this crazy summer of a little bit of football and a little bit of cancellation, and then you maybe got to practice a little bit more than you did for making up for lost time. But give us a preview of the team and tell us what you guys have been up to out there in H-Town.
Yeah, thank you for having us. We're extremely excited. Good opportunity for these kids to feel a sense of normalcy, and we appreciate you guys doing this. The state of our program is if I could put it as simply as it's moving forward as normal. We've been very lucky to have the summer that we've had. Even back when we had the shutdown, we had already made our meetings and arrangements and calendars and had gotten the word out. And with me being this third year, the kids had an idea of what we wanted to do and expect during the summer. And so we were able to get that message out. And through the shutdown, we just kept communicating. And many of them were in my classes. And it was an easy thing to do, to transition into it. We pride ourselves on being organized, trying to teach them discipline, driving 20 minutes early and on everything. And it ended up working out real well. We had to do temp checks. We were already organized in the weight room to begin with. And so once we started and we got the clearance, we just went full bore like we normally would have, and we got really lucky. We didn't have any cancellations on our activities. We were able to sneak a couple extra things in, which was nice, working things out under their guidelines. But ultimately, we're thrilled with our summer. For us in the program, the last 3 years, probably one of our best summers we've ever had.
I'm curious, talking to all these young men, what is the feeling? What is their figurative temperature? Are they chomping at the bit? Are they angry? Are they frustrated? Are they tired? What is it, Coach?
Well, I have to. You're going to have to ask probably these guys on that one. But the overall feeling we get as a staff is just being grateful for the chance to play football. And this has been, I've coached a long time. I've been a part of some really good teams and some teams that struggled, but. Just in my short time here, the best senior class I've ever had to work with in terms of full alignment and belief. It's going to be a tough one. We're super excited to start, but it's going to be a real sad one to end because we always get connected senior to year. Every senior class has a connection. This one's really special to me personally, and that's just the feel that they've given the entire team. We're super close, and like I say, we're super excited.
Is there more athleticism on this year's team? Is there more just overall strength, speed? What makes this? How would you describe this team in one or two words?
I'd say all of the above. Solid weight room attendance. I know every coach says that. We pride ourselves on what we do with our methodologies, and we've had tremendous attendance in the 90 to 95% ranges all across the program from class to class. And so not just in the summer, but for these guys for the last couple of years. And so overall strength, power, muscular size, and now game field prep conditioning is again, one of the best I've ever seen in a group. And we've got a really amazing facility to allow us to do some things and cover a lot of kids to get the full value with each kid. But just because of that, that's one element. But kids mature every year, and the athleticism we knew we were coming in with just has flourished. And so, yes, we have athletes that are coming into light, and with some of the adjustments that we've made schematically, it's just we're going to try to take advantage of each one of those.
Is Caleb McLaws the starter this Friday? Has he won that quarterback job, or is that still a battle going on?
Still under a battle. We're not ready to disclose that just yet. We're still.
But he's one of the players that's in that mix.
He's in the mix, yeah. And the three that we've discussed with the three kids, we have a sophomore, junior, senior. Right now, his position has been, we were trying to get him more in a running back / receiver role. His defensive ability is going to be the standout for Caleb. We're excited for him defensively. But yeah, the quarterback is still a competition right now.
And who are the other two they're battling for?
Carter Ashby and Ashton Williams, junior and a sophomore.
Love it.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Hard on you, it sounds like.
It's not very easy, no. And they're all great kids. They're all program kids, and they're all good kids to have on the field, and it's a good problem to have.
Real quickly, I know Coach Hansen, who was a first-year OC, was after being a longtime DC.
Yeah.
He's going back to the defensive side of the ball this year. Is that what I understand?
He's back to the defense. Yes, probably where he belongs. Yes, and he gets that inside joke, but. Nothing against his ability as an offensive play caller. We did really good things last year. It just is fitting for what he does best. And I've always looked at him as a legendary defensive coordinator. We're super lucky to have him, and he's back as the DC. And our new offensive coordinator, Corey Ashby, is second year in our program, but as passionate, as excited, and as prepped as anybody's ready to go. And he's going to do an outstanding job.
Coach, I remember a magical night at Hurricane last year. I think it was homecoming. You guys got that 24-14 win, and it was like, okay, they've had a tough year, but this moment they're going to hold on to for next year and remember it. How special was that night? I'm for the players too, but for you personally.
I've always said it's kind of a hard question to answer, because if I say that's the only one I care about, doesn't mean I want any more. I do want more. We want to put rings on our fingers and so forth, but there's nothing that I don't think will touch that. You get me talking too much, I'm going to start crying, so you better knock it off. But it was very special to me, 3-year battle of being able to just get one win as a head coach. And it's untouchable at this point, but we're aiming to go higher and get more, and we're just going to take it one game at a time on that one. For these kids, not for me. We're done with me, nothing about me. It's all about these kids.
Yeah.
Let's bring in the kids.
Yeah.
Luke Wright, Isaiah Martinez. Luke, how are you, man?
I'm good. Glad to be here.
Yeah, how's practice going? You guys getting after it over there, and everybody's healthy? Where's the excitement level for you and your teammates? Like on a scale of 1 to 10, is it a 12, or where's it at to play on Friday night?
I think it's 12. We're excited to be out there, being quarantined and stuff, not being able to start our stuff when we wanted it to and stuff, but we love being out there. We're all excited all the time, bringing the juice and just getting after it.
You gonna be playing both ways this year?
Yeah, I will.
Endurance is good. Stamina's up.
Yeah, we're working on it, but every day in practice we work on that, so it's nice.
Isaiah, there's a lot of great linemen in the region this year. Do you put yourself amongst those guys, those 3 or 4 big guys at Snow Canyon, a couple of big guys in the other teams? Do you feel like you're right there with them?
I feel like I can compete with all of them. I don't say that I can't, but I will. So, yes, I do.
Awesome.
Coach, been talking a lot about the weight room, and you guys been there a lot. Anybody out bench press you, out squat you, or are you kind of the guy everybody's looking at to set the standard and the high marks?
Yeah, I've been the guy right now. Hopefully we get some more guys to come with me because we would like more stronger guys.
Well, I want to know, can you outlift Coach? Because he fills out that polo shirt pretty well.
Almost.
Almost?
He's there. He's beyond that.
You know, you're an offensive and defensive lineman. I'm assuming you're going to be playing a little bit on both sides of the ball, but you're going to have a new quarterback. Brock Starley's graduated. How much more urgency and how much more important is it for you guys to really keep that quarterback clean, because it's going to be his first year ever as a varsity starter?
Yeah, we're going to do the same that we did for Brock and work even better, work harder, since we've been together for so long. So we have that camaraderie, and we're getting after it.
Luke, as a receiver, I'm curious, how many targets are you wanting or are expecting, per game? Is it like 1.5? Is it, 4? How much are you guys going to throw the ball, I guess, basically?
Like in our summer stuff, our 7-on-7s, and even in practice, we've spread the ball out a lot more. So awesome. I could see it more as like a 50-50. We'll run it, we'll throw it. So just kind of, whatever's working for us in the game.
Awesome.
We'll get Coach's answer in a second, but I want to ask you guys, is there somebody in practice that's kind of surprising? You're like, oh, wait, where'd this guy come from?
We have a lot of guys like that right now.
Yeah?
Everyone's hungry.
We have a lot.
Get after it.
We have a lot of underclassmen who've kind of shown a lot this year. So.
Coach, what about you?
Yeah, no question. By name off the top of my head, from a senior standpoint, Cody Pauletta has, he's always been a solid kid for defense, and a tremendous kid from a weight room standpoint, but because of his commitment to the field prep work, which we do our conditioning with, we put him into kind of a slot back receiving type situation, and he's doing very well. Runs routes real crisp, and we're excited to see if he can move forward on that one. Another senior, Bubba Moore, was injured quite a bit last year. We're looking to see how well he's going to do this year. Excited for his production, and like I say, a couple of underclassmen, a couple of sophomores. We don't know where they're at quite yet on the depth, but overall program-wide, there's a lot of kids really excited to compete.
I know Lance Matthews is a sophomore. I know him a little bit. He's grown a lot over the last couple of years. Is he a guy that could be a factor and get some reps for you guys this year?
Lance Matthews is a great kid, but we'll see how that works out along the lines with some of those other sophomores.
So that's a talented class, that sophomore class.
There's some kids in that one, but we're program wide. I mean, we can't forget our juniors. Our juniors are just as it's probably a dumb analogy I tell the kids. It's like an Oreo cookie, and my favorite are the homemade ones, right? So we can't have one class without all of them, and so we're excited to see all of our kids improve.
We're excited to get the season going for the Hurricane Tigers. They're at Richfield Friday night, and then Murray in week 2, and then you do have 3 preseason non-conference games. They all count, though, with the RPI, but that'll be against Mountain Ridge, and then they're opening Region 9 play against the Dixie Flyers. Coach, guys, best of luck. Have a safe season, and hopefully we start this and end this season, and it all goes smoothly. Appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Region 9 Football Media Day coverage continues when we come back. Quick 3-minute timeout. Don't touch that dial.
Beyond the park you know exists a world you don't. A world that is greater. Greater than just one passion. Greater than just one adventure. Greater than just one moment. Come to where life is greater. Come to Greater Zion.
1, 2, 3, 4. 0.52 kilograms.
This graph is square.
Pretty close.
Artemisia is all the sage brushes, but there's your needle and thread. Which one is this?
Come down. Perfect. Great. Sodium carbonate.
1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. That means it could be you, your dog walker,
On your left.
your cat jogger. With early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. Through a nationwide network of food banks, Feeding America serves virtually every community in the United States. See how you can help your community. Visit feedingamerica.org.
I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Dude, are you okay?
I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this and I will take that ride home.
Si los amas como para reaprender ecuaciones, para poder enseñárselas, entonces los amas como para visitar nhtsa.gov/protegidos y comprobar que van correctamente abrochados en el asiento trasero del auto.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique.
And your mother.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love.
Give your town a reason to celebrate, because every Goodwill item you bring home brings job training and more to your community. Goodwill, bring good home.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, here on CEC TV, 97.7 ESPN, and those watching on Sports Radio 977.com as we continue with our high school football Region 9 Media Day covers. Devin Dixon, Andy Griffin, and Andy Thompson. And we've got the Pineview Panthers ready to make another run at it. They have joined us on set here at the CEC studios. We've got Coach Shaw. You know, Coach, we were just talking before we went on live. We had Coach Hausner last year, but this year he's letting you come hang with us. So thanks for coming. And why don't you introduce the two guys you brought to represent the Circle Black?
Well, I know this one next to me pretty well. This is Brendan Shaw, my son, and then Enoch Takau.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Guys, welcome. Thanks for coming. And, Coach, let's just talk off-season. It's been crazy. What have the Panthers been doing? Give us an overall preview of the team for this upcoming season.
Well, I mean, I'll be honest. I think we were our kids came back in pretty good shape. Guys found ways to work out, found gyms. Peter Falanico left in March and came back a massive human being. I mean, it's unbelievable. But we've seen some. I mean, guys came back ready to go. They're hungry and excited and grateful for the opportunity to get to go out and play football.
Obviously, you're going to have a new signal caller over there at Pineview. Take us inside that battle and tell us how the quarterback that's won that job is looking right now.
Well, Braden Bunnell has done everything we've asked for the last 2 years. He stood next to McLeod Croton, never missed a meeting. Tried to go to his, I mean, he tried to become McLeod. McLeod stood next to him in JV games. McLeod has not gone to the University of Idaho yet, so McLeod is at our practice every day. They've got a great relationship, and so Braden has done everything that we've asked. He's done his extra throwing sessions with Coach Hausner. We've got an unbelievably athletic sophomore that is going to be a really good football player. He's a good football player. He's going to be a really good football player. That's Enoch's little brother. He could arguably be probably the most athletic quarterback we've ever had come through Pineview, and that we had Justin Entz, you've had Dallin Brown. So he's coming. Gary Croton's system is not all that easy at times, but he's learning, and so it's been a great battle. But Braden Bunnell, if you were to ask me who surprised me the most, Braden Bunnell. He's done everything that we've asked him to do. So I'm excited for him. It's going to be a good year for him.
Would you characterize your team as physical, strong, athletic, fast? What is it?
Well, we got some guys that can run.
Yeah.
You got the McKenzie's running around, but I would say a mix. We've got a pretty good offensive line. They've got in the weight room. We've got some strong kids. Enoch and that linebacking core have really worked hard. And then we've got some speed. We got the McKenzie's. You got TJ Francis, Peyton Mann, Preston Mann, Marcus Kemp. There's a few guys. I mean, so we got some guys that can run a little bit. We've been on acceleration treadmill a lot, and so guys have really worked hard.
I'm curious, Coach, what's it like from your perspective, kind of watching Coach Croton and Coach Hosner coaching an offense? You got two kind of quarterback whisperers, with a lot of history. What's that like from your perspective, watching those two?
It's from my perspective?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a guy that's called offense, so for me to work with Gary Croton's like going to college football every day. I don't have to coach college. I get it every day. It's an unbelievable experience, and obviously, I've been with Coach Haas. This is our 20th year, 2 decades. I mean, we're great friends, and just I think the world of those two guys. They're incredible mentors, but the opportunity to coach with these two guys, it's like a dream come true.
You do have a new defensive coordinator, though. KJ Boyer's going to be calling the defense.
Yes.
Let's talk about that a little bit.
It's awesome. I'm excited. I mean, KJ's a kid that played for us.
Yep.
And he was a two-way starter, was a stud, and it's fun to watch KJ come into his own, and I'm excited for him. KJ's a really smart individual, and he'll do a really good job. I'm excited for his opportunity. He deserves this opportunity, and so it's going to be fun to watch.
Now, was he Shaggy or was that his brother?
Well, that was the brother, but KJ can get a little shaggy.
Yeah.
But his big brother, I mean, his little brother, bigger than him then.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the schedule. You guys were supposed to play Ridgeline at home, and now that game's at Westlake. I didn't hear the details on that.
So what happened is we wanted the game, and so according to Cache Valley School District, they're not allowing any overnight travel. So the only way they could play it is meet us halfway. I believe the two superintendents, Larry Bergeson, our superintendent, and their superintendent got together, tried to make this work, and it worked out. So we decided we'll meet you halfway. We just want to get a game in. These kids, they want a game, we want to play, and so we just worked it out the best we could for both programs.
I was talking with Craig Hammer a couple weeks ago. He said there's an influx of transfers going on right now. Have you guys seen that?
Not any more than maybe 1 or 2 that we usually. I mean, every year I think everybody down here gets 1 or 2 kids. We haven't seen like 20 kids knocking at the door to come. So we've had 1 or 2, but nothing like you hear.
Yeah. I keep hearing like everyone from California, Nevada. These schools that aren't playing, these seniors want to play. But I didn't know if that was something that we were going to get an influx. That's a hard one because you don't want to displace the current kids in your program.
You don't, and then they've made it tough because you have to. Now the states changed the rule where you better sell your house and show that either you're out of your lease where you're at, and then show the new lease. So it's just not like you just come for 5 months and get to go back.
Right.
You've really got to show that you're trying to make a full family move. So I'm sure people will pull it off, but
let's. You got another question for Coach?
No, I was going to kind of have him bring in his son and talk about the football relationship with the family. I know you got a boy on a mission right now. And
we laughed about this because I told him, I said, $5 are going to, what's it like to play for your father? I mean, it's just.
Actually, I was going to ask you, what's it like coaching your son?
I'm going to tell you what, I don't know what happened because I've got great sons, and I'm not easy to live with. But Brock worked, as you know, Brock was just a hard worker, and Brennan every real bit. I mean, I have nothing to complain. Coach Haas laughs at me because I'm hard on him, but they're good kids. So coaching Brennan, he's our starting center coming back. I mean, he's an invaluable for our offensive line, and so, Coach Stott didn't come back, so Coach Haas comes to me and goes, we got to make a change. You willing to go coach the O-line? And I had to run it by him. So it's the first time I haven't coached running backs in 20 years, but it's something we needed to do. We didn't want to bring a new guy in and try to teach him the system. So it's been fun. I mean, he does a really good job. So.
Brandon, talk about your offensive line a little bit. The guys to your left, to your right. You guys got a good unit this year?
Yeah, we're really good. We got 2 returning tackles, so Peter Falanico on the left side, and then Dason Moore on the right. Dason's 6'5", like 300 pounds. Peter's 6'3", 300 pounds. And then we got another kid that's 6'3" on my left, playing left guard, Peyton Calico. And then our little short guy, Isaiah Arredondo. We're lifting hard, and they're ready to go.
The only time people notice a center in a spread formation is if he makes a bad snap. Do you think about that ever?
No, I think I only had 1 bad snap all last year.
One last year, that was it.
That was it, yeah.
Do you long snap too?
I do not, but okay. I mean, I can, but I don't.
Let's bring in Enoch, and Enoch going both ways. I mean, watching you get hotter and hotter as the season progressed last year. I mean, I think I called your name every game 30, 40 times. He had a bunch of stars on last year's team. But where's your excitement level to be back and to be playing football this Friday night?
My excitement level is to the top. It's the roof. It's going crazy. After we ended last season, I just wanted to hop right back on, start playing. I didn't want to stop.
Was there a little bit of bad taste in your mouth when the way last season ended?
No, like my last season was I had with those group of guys. I grew close to them. Like the way it ended, it wasn't a bad taste. I consider it was one of my best football years I played.
Yeah, I mean, but a little bit more motivation losing to the.
Definitely a little more ready to hit it again.
When you guys were sequestered, sheltered at home, whatever we're calling it, isolated, were you able to like work out and stuff, or what, did you play a lot of Xbox? What was it like for you?
Oh no, my dad's made sure I was outside working and grinding. I had me and my little brother were grinding it on the field.
Do you feel like there's going to be more weight on your shoulders this year as a ball carrier? I mean, last year you guys were able to throw it for 500 yards a game or whatever, but this year with a new quarterback, you're probably going to be relied on a bit more, you'd think, probably, right?
I really never thought about that. My team, I really have huge confidence in my team, my O-line, receivers, my defense, so I don't feel that pressure.
You guys averaged 43.2 points per game last year, Brennan. How do you top that?
Go back out and we score 50 points a game.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
I love it.
You think?
I think we can do it, man.
We've got a good group. They're excited. You know what? The group before them has really shown them the way. Brock's group set. I mean, we've had really good teams. I mean, just great young men. 2016, you go back to Heaton and Screech at the college. Those guys kind of just, reset who we are and what our foundation was. It's, go 2 decades, you try to keep building, and these guys just following along. So it's a good group of young men. They work hard.
Real quick, your preseason schedule. Holy cow, Ridgeline, Highland, and then at Park City.
Yeah, it's not
that's a little aggressive to start thinking. What can we?
That's Hosner.
2-1,
if we could. Well, man, we want to go 3-0, man. That's the goal.
What do you read from that, though?
Well, we see where we're at. Really, we want to. I think we got some talented kids that have not played a lot of varsity minutes, and so playing this type of schedule will get those guys ready for Region 9. Region 9's loaded, and from top to bottom, everybody's going to be improved. The guys that last year weren't very good are going to be a lot better, and I mean, you saw Snow Canyon walking out of here. The guys are loaded, and Blaine's always got a great team, and so I think those 3 games will get us prepared for region play.
Good stuff with the Pineview Panthers hanging out with Sear, and like Andy said, tough non-conference schedule. It all starts this Friday against Ridgeline. Guys, best of luck. Be safe. Be well this season. Coach, thanks for coming, and we'll see you on the field.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back. More Media Day coverage when we continue right after this.
Time apart has taught us. In our social distance, we found space. Space to ponder. Space to connect. Space to imagine. Space to heal. In the emptiness, we found meaning. In silence, we found beauty. In separation, we've discovered there is so much more to find when we find our space. Find your space.
I'd love to, but I'm pretty busy with all this.
Yeah. Hey, let's meet our retirement coach, Avo. Hey, is for taking action.
Not anxiety?
No, Kevin, you're gonna be fine.
You sing?
Barely. V is for variety.
And you dance?
Sort of. Come on. O is for optimize your savings.
Let Avo lead the way.
Visit aceyourretirement.org today.
Nice.
Honorary Forest Ranger Betty White here, lending a hand to my dear friend Smokey Bear. Because for 75 years, he's only said,
Only you can prevent wildfires.
but there's a lot more to say. Like if you park your car on tall, dry grass, the hot exhaust pipe can start a wildfire. So keep the animals safe, especially the cute shirtless one. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
You can achieve a lot using your imagination. I mean, I don't like to brag, but... Wait, who's that? And why is she all over these achievement awards? But with STEM, the sky's the limit. Shaboom! Use STEM to envision... Okay, I'm seeing it. Yeah. Invent...
Got any ideas?
I've got a few, actually. And create a better world.
Told you she's super smart.
If she can STEM, so can you. Find out more at SheCanSTEM.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Hope you have a great Monday afternoon. We continue our Region 9 Football Media Day here at CEC TV Studios. Thanks for listening in or watching online. And again, if you miss any of the teams we've covered so far, you can go back and watch it a little bit later on CEC TV, their YouTube page, or sportsradio977.com. Devin Dixon, Andy Griffin, Andy Thompson hanging out. And we're going to get to the Desert Hills Thunder, who have made their way in. And Coach Murdoch, how are you, my friend?
Doing well, thanks.
Good to see you again. You guys excited for another football season? And of course, you got two guys with you, Scott Stokes and Braxton Turnbow. We'll talk with the players in just a second, but want to start with you and have you kind of take us through this crazy offseason and give us an overall preview and outlook for your team this year.
Yeah, man, I think at this point we're just excited to play football. I don't care who it's against or what we're doing. We just want to get out and play, you know. And it was fun. We had our team scrimmage last week, and it was almost like palpable. You could feel like the gratitude and appreciation from the fans. They just wanted to get out and start to feel back to normal. And really that's what's super exciting about this season too, is that it's just kind of a break, and there's not a lot of states and teams that get to do what we get to do this week. And so we're excited about that. It's been a good summer for us, and we've been building a lot off of some of the successes we had last year in replacing key players, and then continuing to build off of those that had a lot of experience last year. And so we're super excited for the season, and we're just ready to go, you know, and just to get back to feel like we're back to normal. And football, I feel like, is a huge part of that, so it's exciting.
There's a lot of teams in the region like yours that are trying to replace a good senior quarterback. Logan Wilstead is gone, and now you've got Bentley, and then I guess you got a sophomore, Noah.
Yeah.
They're kind of been competing. Take me through that quarterback race.
Yeah, it's really Noah is a sophomore, Hunter's a senior, and they've both done well. And so really what I wanted to see throughout the summer is just kind of from a leadership standpoint, who takes that, and then as we get into our season, who the team kind of rallies around and plays for. And so they'll both get time this week, and we'll kind of feel that out and see who really takes the next step for sure.
Snow Canyon is big. Dixie's always good. Pineview's Cedar's got 20 starters back. How do you fit into that mix with all these great teams in Region 9?
I think, we're right there with them. We return most of our defense, and really where we have to replace people is some of our skill position on offense, but we get most of our offensive line back. And so I think it's, just like Coach Shaw was saying, it's always tough here, and everybody's getting better all the time, and everybody seems to reload, and it's always, I think, this same conversation every year. It's like they get this many back and these guys are whatever. And so really it's Region 9, and that's kind of what you come to expect. And so you just put your head down and get to work and just try to be that team that ends out number one.
Coach, Logan was kind of a gunslinger, never giving up on a play, kind of electrifying quarterback. What are these other two like, and how different is it approaching them compared to a kid who had been in the program before you got there?
Sure. Logan was, he was super athletic, and he leaned on that a lot, and really got us out of some sticky situations. And these other two, Hunter's kind of more of a pocket passer type thing, but he can get out and run when he needs to. And Noah, similar, for a sophomore, he's a big kid, and he's puts in a lot of work and wants to be that guy. And so they've been battling it out for sure, and they understand that, you know, at any given time there could be someone else that's doing better. And so I think it's helped push each other.
You go back to last year, losing in the second round of the playoffs. Do you draw on that game and try to take some of the positives from that? Is that a motivating factor? Is that something that's in the rearview mirror and you're all focused on just this season getting ready to go?
To be honest, I mean, as a coach and as our coaching staff, we refer to it a little bit, but I don't think I've said one word to our players about it. And it's just because, I mean, what's here is what's now, and that's what we're trying to take the one game by game approach and really look at what we need to do now to be successful. As coaching staff, that's our job, to look back at that. And sure, we have a little bit of some things that we did well and what we can learn from that, but we want our players focused on now. And so, yeah, I haven't said anything about it to them.
We keep hearing from the UHSAA and staff that there's a lot of people trying to come into the state, various programs, and kids wanting to play football. What's your thought on that? Are you seeing any of that at D Hills?
I mean, no, not really. I think it's just kind of typical for St. George. We've had a few moving kids, and and so really we haven't seen too much of that here. You always hear rumors of people and whoever else, and I think most of them have been more north. But yeah, we don't really have any.
Last year in the spring, of course, a lot of seniors had no baseball season, no track and field, and stuff like that. Have you prepared your guys for the possibility that may happen to football? I mean, is it something you don't even think about?
No, we haven't really talked about it, to be honest. Not intentionally, but just that, I mean, I want them. We did our summer the same way we always do, as much as we could anyways, and we just want it to feel normal to them and regular to them. And so I think that's just something that we cross that bridge when we come to it, and they handled it so well. I felt like in the spring that it's not a huge concern, but then I think it's more we have to help our parents more than our players sometimes to deal with that. Yeah. And so no, we really haven't discussed it.
You mentioned the parents. What is is it more parents would be upset if you weren't playing football right now, or are you getting emails saying, what are you doing to kind of keep the kids safe because my kid really wants to play and he is playing? What's that like, that conversation?
I try to communicate with them regularly as far as what precautions we have to take, and so they're in the loop of what we're doing to try and make sure that things are done the right way as far as the COVID stuff goes and sanitation and everything. And so it's been positive feedback mostly. They just want to play and they want to watch their kids and they want to be out in the stands and doing things. And so it's tough. We go to Murray, and they're one of the schools that are kind of limiting attendance. And so it's tough for some of the parents to not be able to just like get all their family and everybody else there. And so they want to be there and they want to get out and they want to watch football.
Let's talk about, let's bring the players in. I want to talk to Scott Stokes. This region has become all about offense, and you're a defensive guy. It's kind of like the Big 12 in college football. Score, score, score. Do you take that kind of personally, that everybody's putting up these video game type numbers?
I think personally, defense has definitely a crucial part in winning a game, but I always like to have a nice offense to score points.
Yeah, for sure.
Bring in Braxton. Braxton, you and your brother, you guys flying around. I saw you in the scrimmage, you had an interception. Man, do you feel like your team's like ready for the first game, or do you feel with all the offseason, all the turmoil in the country with COVID and the pandemic and everything that you guys are a little bit behind, or do you feel like you're further ahead for some reason?
No, honestly, I feel like we're further ahead because of our chemistry within this team. We came together in the spring, we were lifting, not at gyms, but at people's houses, finding ways to get work in, And all this off season in the summer, we really worked hard and we're dedicated to the process and understood our limits of what we can and can't do because of the state. But we were there and we were given everything we have. And honestly, I would say we're further ahead because of our chemistry and because of our work ethic.
What's it like playing with your brother in the same defensive secondary? I mean, you guys are so fun to watch, and I was so impressed by both of you. You guys had some injuries at linebacker, and you guys are up in the box putting your nose in there and hitting people. What's it like playing with him, and how much offense are you guys kind of expecting to play this year, maybe?
Yeah, honestly, it's something we've looked forward to our whole life. The youth league, you see the high school football games, you're like, hey, that's us, man. Like, that's our goal. And it was so cool to accomplish that and play. You get 2 years with the kid, and it's a blessing. And so defensive-wise, it's great because we have that chemistry and we can yell at each other, and we can take it, and we know it's out of love, and we're helping each other get better. And offensive-wise, we're both starting, and so we're going to get lots of reps there and, be a good asset to the team and help it.
Awesome.
Yes, sir.
Scott, I want to talk about the linebacking core. I mean, a lot of the tackles were made by you and your teammates, and a lot of your linebacking core is back. I mean, tell me about those guys and how you guys look as a core so far, getting ready for game number 1.
We're going to be having Cy and Jake return, and I've known Cy since I was a kid. We've always been buddies, and it's nice having him return and being able to play with him again. I don't think we've really skipped a beat there. We've just really improved on what we left off at last year, and I'm excited for what's next.
Is there some underclassmen that surprised you guys as some of the leaders on this team? If so, a couple guys that maybe you're like, oh, this sophomore can play. Who's turned some heads?
Definitely say T-Money, Taven,
Yeah.
Morrison, Jace's little brother.
Yep.
And then Lincoln Holmes. And then obviously Noah. I would say those are some real sophomores to look for and coming up because they're real good kids. Yes, sir.
Coach, will those 3 get a chance to see some time in this preseason?
Oh, no doubt, for sure. Yeah, if we can, they've been heavy in the rotation on both sides of the ball. So
Lincoln's a sophomore. He looks bigger than Peyton, who's a senior to me. I saw him.
He's tall.
He looks strong.
He is. He's a big-bodied kid, and I've been impressed with because I haven't seen him play really before this year, and so I was impressed with how great of hands he has, and he's smooth in what he does too. So it's been fun to have him.
Coach, real quick, I was curious about the running back. Ethan Ford's back. That'll be really fun. And then EJ Alton got some carries last year. What's that kind of battle or the featured back competition?
Yeah, I mean, right now it's Ethan for sure, but Ethan's so versatile that sometimes we'll put him back out at H and let EJ run the ball. Really, we have a few guys in the backfield. Sometimes we stick Cy Nunley back there and Trey Levitt and a couple of different guys. And so it should be fun to be able to have some versatility with that and move him around. But for right now, Ethan's the guy, and he's so shifty. He's just so hard to get a hold of and to track down. And so, and his little brother now is a sophomore as well, Zach. And if you can imagine, he's like maybe a little bit faster and a little more shifty. Just some of the stuff that kid does with the ball is just super impressive.
Desert Hills Thunder, that's all the time we have. We're flying through it today, but guys, thanks for coming, representing your teammates. Be safe, be well. Coach, always appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Friday night, Murray, then Alta, then Spanish Fork, and then they'll open up region play against the Pine View Panthers on September 4th. We got to take a break. We'll come back. One more team to get to. Crimson Cliffs will join us as our Media Day coverage continues after this break.
I take the road less traveled, run free, unwind, unravel someplace outside with lots to do. Green trees, red rocks, and don't forget that blue sky. The sunshine shining, sunshine pouring on me. Think I might just stay a while. Say hooray all day because the sun is gonna shine on me. Sun is gonna shine on me. So if you're looking for me, then you better look down where there's tall palm trees and shopping sprees. Sip my tires and don't forget that blue sky. The sunshine shining, sunshine pouring on me. Think I might just stay a while. Say hooray all day because the sun is gonna shine on me. Sun is gonna shine on me. Sun's gonna shine on me.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
For over a century, Dixie State University has been shaping the trailblazers of tomorrow by providing a culture of active learning, active life. With a paradigm of real-world experience mixed with cutting-edge technologies and rich traditions, we provide one of the most affordable educations in the West set against the most stunning backdrop on the planet.
Where do you find the titans of classical music in St. George? Classical music on Radio St. George, 100.3 FM. Where do you find the legends of jazz? Evenings on Radio St. George, 100.3 FM.
Beyond the park,
Hey everybody, welcome back to our continued coverage of our Region 9 High School Football Media Day. We're so excited. We're here, we're doing it, and we've got one team left. And just a reminder, if you missed any of our coverage, if you're just jumping in your car, heading home, listening on radio, you can go watch all of today's stuff on sportsradio977.com or the CEC TV YouTube page so you can get ready for Friday night. We're going live under the lights. We're playing high school football, and Crimson will finally, the Mustangs will have their first ever home game on that new turf. Obviously, last year didn't get that. And Coach Tate joining us on set, second-year head coach of the second-year school. And then we got Malachi Koinohi and Creed Leonard representing the Mustangs. And Coach, let's start with you and let's chat, man. It's been a wild summer, and we want to talk about what you guys have been up to and give us a preview: offense, defense, special teams, and some guys to watch for and what to expect from you guys on the field this year.
Well, I mean, like everybody else, it's been a pretty interesting time for us. But it's not necessarily something new for us to kind of not know what's going on or having to be flexible or adaptable, like you said, the situation with the field. But we made the best of it. We did what we could and controlled what we could and got ready for the season as best we could through our meetings and learning the offense and defensive scheme and whatever camps and 7-on-7s we could do and lifting in the summer. And we feel really positive about where we're at and where we can get.
Who are some of the guys that we're going to be calling their name on a lot of the broadcasts this year? Who's really taking the lead on offense, defense? Give me some players.
You know, on offense, Creed's been running the ball really well, and he's somebody that we had last year playing both ways, and he played a lot of time on defense. And this year we really decided to focus his efforts on offense and running the football. And he's a tough, hard-nosed kid. He's gonna run until he can't run anymore. So we're excited about that. And then offensively, in the passing game, we have a pretty cool dynamic with Ty Brown, a sophomore quarterback, and Chase Hansen, our junior quarterback. So we're really young at that position, and when Chase isn't on the field as quarterback, he's going to play wide receiver, and those two are going to battle out for a starting position at quarterback, and we feel really positive on what they can do.
Coach, there was a whole list of requirements by the UHSAA on things you have to do in order to have a ball game, and I know you've got a home game this Friday. Is it going to be disruptive? Is it going to take a lot of patience? I mean, you've got to take temperatures and all kinds of weird stuff.
I don't know that it's going to be disruptive because it's something that we've already started to put in place for all of our practices. And so since coming back, the kids are used to getting their temperatures checked and doing our health check questions and making sure we're healthy and we're safe and ready to play before we actually start playing. And so that's just another part of the game now that we've accepted and what we're going to take and do on Friday nights as well. But again, like I said before, it's not something we're going to dwell on. It's not something we can control, so we're not going to worry about it. We're just going to focus on us.
Coach, I've been super impressed with the community of Crimson Cliffs, the support of the parents and the fans. I remember last year at our pregame stuff, they were just all over the place. I'm sure that's been helpful for you as the new head coach of the program, getting it started.
Oh, absolutely. It takes a lot of work just to run a football program regardless. And now also trying to open up a new program, a new school, the issues that we've had, the adversities that we face. And honestly, if we didn't have the support of the parents, the support of the community, the support of the school, it just would have been impossible.
Coach, let's talk a little bit about your schedule. Manti, how exciting is it going to be to have the first home game on that turf? I'm expecting it's going to be really thrilling for the kids that are back inside the program that did get a play on that field last year.
Yeah, we played in our scrimmage on Saturday night, and we got a little taste of it, and we'll be excited to run out with our flags and with our band playing and everything like that for the first time at home at Crimson Cliffs. And those kids are a little bit excited too to get another chance, a second crack at Manti. I don't know if you remember, we were leading that game at halftime, just 7-0, but still leading that game at halftime, and the wheels kind of came off in the second half. So we're excited to show that we're a different team and the improvement and the gains that we've made over the summer.
Manti will be tough, but week 2 is Lehigh. A little bit tougher, huh?
Yeah, Coach Larson's got that team clicking.
Yeah.
And again, it's a team that's going to challenge us, and it's a team that's going to be really physical, really well coached, and that'll really prepare us for, a lot of the bigger schools in Region 9, that want to, that already have some of that size and have some of the offensive weapons. I don't think that Lehigh is going to take it easy on us. They're going to come down and play a good football game, and we're going to compete, and we're just going to make sure that we're better coming out of it.
Crimson Cliffs hanging out with us here. Coach Tate joining us. We'll get to the kids in just a second, but a lot of people probably wondering who, after that first year as a coach and as a teacher, do you feel like you've developed a rivalry? Is it Pineview? Is it Desert Hills? Is it somebody else as a new school? Is that a fair question? Who kind of is leading that rivalry talk right now in your eyes?
Well, within our area, a lot of our kids either had to make the choice to either come here or come to Crimson Cliffs or Desert Hills or Pineview. And we even have, a lot of kids that maybe started off in those systems and in those programs and then played with those young men and now that have a chance to play against them too. So I would say Desert Hills and Pineview are really the teams that our kids look forward to. But that's not something we really want to get caught up in either. We want to make sure that we're prepared and playing, whether it's Snow Canyon, Canyon View, Cedar, whoever it is, that we're coming prepared each and every week.
Any tweaks to Coach Lou's system on offense? Anything you can tell us about? A little bit more pass heavy this year, a little bit more run heavy? Are you trying to stay pretty 50-50 split, balanced attack?
Well, we really want to be balanced, and we really want to just be successful and do the things that we do best. I will tell you, he's an offensive line coach, and so the run game's where his heart is. But he's got, a quarterbacks coach and wide receiver coaches that push him a little bit more to throw the ball as well. But we want to really stay within ourselves and call the plays and run the offense that our kids can be successful at.
Last year defensively, you guys gave up almost 35 points a game. I know Coach Wayne's not used to doing that.
Yeah.
How much better do you think this defense will be this year?
I think we're really improved. Him and I were talking, and he made the comment that he's been able to install a lot more of his system, a lot more of his schemes, and he feels more like he can call a game that he's actually prepared for. Where last year it was more building the foundations, and now we're expanding on those building blocks, and he feels really confident in being able to call a scheme and prepare for a game the way he wants to.
Let's bring some players in and talk to these guys. First of all, Creed, let's talk about what you feel like is expected of you this year.
I think nothing's different. I think just for us older guys like me and Mal, we just got to come out and lead. And, we still have a relatively young program, but I don't think that's going to stop us from doing anything. I think all the adversity, including this year that we've faced, it will only make us stronger. I just think that the biggest thing for us is going to be leading and trying our best out there on the field.
Malachi, you were one of the big names last year to come to Crimson Cliffs that people remembered, making a bunch of big plays, had another great year last year. What are you looking forward to most this season as one of the big leaders on the team?
I think I'm ready for the brotherhood that we've made during the summer. We've had a couple transfers, and one from Cornelina and one from Lone Peak. And so I've been loving the brotherhood that we've gotten. Last year, it was working, it was in the progress, and so I'm ready to trust everyone on the defense as I do myself.
How many guys, Creed, do you have going both ways? Are you guys trying to limit that a little bit, or are there some of you, and Coach said you're making that move, but if needed, are you still going to be able to play a few snaps defensively this year?
Well, so far I haven't really taken a whole lot of steps defensively, but I think we're going to try to do more of a platoon system, I'm pretty sure. I think, Coach at the end of the day will do whatever he thinks is best, and we'll be behind that all the way. But yeah, I think it'll be a little different this year because we have more numbers and more kids that can go both ways and have more experience. So yeah, I think we'll probably do a lot more just single-sided.
If you were having it your way, how many carries a game would you average in the first 3 weeks of non-conference?
I love to carry the ball. I feel like the offensive line's done an amazing job against we got a really good defense to go against every day, but the specific number, I'm not sure. Just whatever gets the job done. We got a really young, talented quarterback in Tyler Brown, and Chase also helps us out there, and good receiver core, but I don't know, probably 20, I guess. I don't know. That would be the goal, but...
Let's see if Malachi can answer it. How many picks you can have this year at safety?
Hey, I try to make sure I have my stats, but at the same time, it's more towards just playing as a team and being able to play my part as a big role, as I know that this is my last year and I'm trying to come out with a bang.
Kanohi, is that Hawaiian? Is it?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's your heritage, or your parents are from? Or
So I'm Hawaiian. I'm mostly Hawaiian, but I have some Swedish as well.
Really?
And so I have a really good mix of different cultures, but Hawaiian is the biggest one right now.
Very cool. Very cool.
Coach, any youngsters, any guys that maybe didn't have a big part on the team last year that have come in, names that we're going to know about pretty quick once you guys get out there and put those helmets on and go?
I for sure. You know, we were so young last year. We'll have a lot of people that you've already heard of. But, you know, we live in an area, too, that's constantly growing, a lot of construction, a lot of new homes being built. And so we have people kind of moving in fairly often, fairly frequently. But Jackson Griffiths is a big body on defense that's going to help us out. Malka also mentioned Jason Ponusuya, and on the defense he'll play middle backer. That's new for us. Offensively, we have a young man, Easton Drubay, who's coming to us from Pineview, who we think can play and take significant steps on the offensive side of the football and help us out as well.
All right, Crimson Cliffs ready to go. First home game ever at the new stadium. Friday night against Manti. Then they've got Lehigh, and then a game against Idaho. That's still on tap, Sugar Salem?
No, they got axed because it's an out-of-state school, and so we're in the process of either looking at a bye week or if we can replace it with somebody else.
So right now, 2 games in the preseason, and then they'll be playing Cedar City in their first region game September 4th. Guys, thanks for coming, representing the Stain Gang. Coach, always a pleasure, and good luck this season.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that's the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs. Quick break. When we come back, coaches and media have done a combined vote. We'll give you some of the preseason players to watch and the expected order of finish when we return on our Region 9 Media Day.
Beyond the park you know, exists a world you don't. A world that is greater. Greater than just one passion. Greater than just one adventure. Greater than just one moment. Come to where life is greater. Come to Greater Zion.
Hey guys, how are you today?
Good.
I'm here to talk about how with technology you can make amazing worlds. Come with me. My team and I bring the Halo world to life.
Is that you?
That is me. I wasn't a math genius and I knew nothing about coding. But you guys do. You guys have the power to change things.
I want your job.
I want you to have my job.
I take the road less traveled, run free, unwind, unravel, someplace outside with lots to do. Green trees, red rocks, and don't forget that blue sky. The sunshine shining, sunshine pouring on me. Think I might just stay a while. Say hooray all day because the sun is gonna shine on me. Sun, it's gonna shine on me. Sun's gonna shine on me.
Radio Dixie 91.3, Young the Giant, something to believe in.
John, what song do you want to hear?
Next, Miss Calendris. It'll be on the SWAT team, the SWAT team.
Did a fantastic situation. I was going to talk to you last time.
One in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother,
yes.
you, your football buddy, your football buddy. You, your plumber,
Breathe right into your foot.
your plumber's masseuse.
Yes.
You, your dog walker, your cat jogger. With early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Final segment here. This is kind of the fun part where we get to kind of recap, look at our preseason poll, look at our preseason players for Region 9 football. Devin Dixon, Andy Griffin, Andy Thompson, and guys, what a fun day. It's good to be talking football, huh?
Yeah, it's cathartic. It makes me, it's therapeutic, you know. It's like, yes, football is really here. Is it? Is it going to last? I hope so, man. My fingers, they're crossed.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Let's get to it. We don't have a lot of time. We're got about 5 minutes, but Andy, let's jump into it, and then we'll kind of see how this thing played out. Right now, Andy is the only one that knows what he's about to tell everybody.
And Darren helped me out in adding them up today. But Snow Canyon is your preseason pick to win the region championship, which is what Max Preps had, but not what was kind of discovered through some of the other preseason voting and Deseret News, et cetera. But Snow Canyon, it's 7 first place votes. That's out of 7, 9, 11, 12. Pineview second. They had 2 first place votes and 79 points. Dixie third, 74 points and 2 first place votes. Cedar is picked to finish 4th, and then Desert Hills has 1 first place vote. Cedar didn't get a first place vote, but Desert Hills did, but they are picked to finish 5th, followed by Crimson Cliffs, Hurricane, and then Canyon View. Guys, thoughts? Snow Canyon, Pineview, Dixie, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I mean, Landon Fry, 3-year starter going into his senior season, going to play baseball at the U. Bretton Stone, slippery fast. I mean, Isaac Lees, Ja'Cory McKeever, Braxton Hickman. It's not a surprise. On paper, this is a state championship contending team. So, if they go with, how they're expected to go on paper, they're going to win a state championship potentially this year. This team is absolutely loaded. They're in the weight room. They've got a lot of talent coming back. So I'm not surprised at all that Snow Canyon's picked number 1.
No, me neither. I think the big thing is all the good news about the offense. That's great for Snow Canyon because sometimes that's where they've sputtered. They're unable to get 20 or more points when they need to. But with all those returners back, they should be able to score a bunch this year. So I think that's a good pick.
But, I mean, right behind him, Pineview, and Pineview had a great run last year. Gary Croton calling the offense. The McKenzie brothers can flat out fly. Preston Mann can fly. And if Bunnell can be really, really good in Gary Croton's system, I mean, they're going to be tough week in, week out. We know Enoch Takau is going to be an animal on both sides of the ball. And you never underestimate Coach Munkers and that Dixie Flyers team. I know they're replacing a lot on offense, but Bronson Barbin's the real deal from what I hear, guys. This guy is going to turn some heads, even though it's his first year as a varsity starter.
And remember what Coach Shaw said about Braden Bunnell. He's done everything that we've asked him to. That's pretty important. That's a pretty big deal. Let's talk all region players now. No player appeared on all 12 ballots, not a single player. The one that appeared on the most ballots was Enoch Takau of Pineview High School. He's our preseason MVP. What do you think?
I mean, he's a two-way guy that's going to be probably the leading tackler for Pineview, and he's going to be the leading carrier, and he's got great hands out of the backfield. So he could lead the region in rushing and touchdowns scored and tackles. It wouldn't surprise me one bit if he takes home some big statistical awards and fills it up in those categories.
Yeah, I think with a new quarterback, he's going to get 15 to 20 carries probably every game.
2 other players were on 8 of the 12 ballots, Braxton Hickman and Ja'Cory McKeever, both Snow Canyon studs.
Yeah, I saw McKeever pancake quarterbacks last year, and he's another two-way player. And Hickman, I mean, Coach called him the Swiss Army knife. I mean, he's kind of like a little Taysom Hill, but they use him mainly on defense, but they move him around.
Yeah.
I mean, he could play about any position on the whole team.
DN, backer, safety, yeah.
He could run wishbone if he was a quarter. I mean, like, he could do a little bit of everything. I mean, this kid burst on the scene. He played hurt last year. He's a tough guy, and he's the heart and soul of that defense. There's no question about it.
No, I mean, he walked in here with those guns, and I immediately wrote his name down. And he was all-state last year playing hurt.
Both those guys were.
Yeah.
All right, other first-teamers, go through them real quickly. Landon Fry, no surprise, on 7 of the 12 ballots. 6 first-place votes, Bretton Stone. So there you go, 4 Snow Canyon players in the top 5. All right, let's see. Leith from Snow Canyon again. Jaron Garrett from Cedar is a first teamer. Then all these other guys had 4 votes. Brendan Shaw of Pineview, Warner of Desert Hills, Trey Payne of Cedar, Colby White of Cedar, very, very speedy, slippery guy. Hunter Knighton of Dixie, McKenzie of Pineview, Wright of Hurricane, and Isaiah Martinez of Hurricane. Those are all first teamers.
Yeah, Dominic McKenzie's a guy to watch for because we saw what Moten did last year. He should get Moten type production this year, and he was like their 3rd or 4th option last year. And so like guys like him and Preston Mann, they got a chance to lead the region in receiving yards and touchdowns this year in that system. There's no question he's going to be a playmaker.
Other second teamers now: Braden Turnbow, Desert Hills, Williams of Desert Hills, Tom of Canyonview, Maycock of Dixie, Turnbow of Desert Hills, so 2 Turnbows that got the same number of votes, Hanson of Crimson Cliffs, Andrus, Washington, Ford, and Erickson, all second teamers. Then a whole bunch of other guys, another 30 guys got 1 vote each.
Yeah, Ethan Ford from Desert Hills is a great little running back. Fast, quick, reliable. I mean, a ton of studs, ton of talent. It's going to be an exciting year, guys.
Can't wait.
We'll get that posted on social media. If you missed anything, go back and watch it. We got to say goodnight. Hope you enjoyed our 2020 Region 9 Media Day.